Jesus is the carpenter of Nazareth who is rebuilding humanity. He's like a new Noah who's rebuilding the church as an ark, and within that ark are the seeds of a new creation. But one of the astonishing things that we discover in the New Testament is that this ark, although it's being built by Jesus, although it's being built through the power of the Spirit, is in one sense a self-constructing ark. The people of God, the body of Christ, is a self-constructing body. It's not as if human beings have the power in themselves to construct the body of Christ or to be the new ark, the ark of Christendom. Rather, it's by the power of the Spirit that we're made capable of constructing the body of Christ, of edifying, building up an edifice in the world that is the church. This is very clear in Ephesians 4, among other places, where we're told that Jesus ascended, and when he ascended on high, he gave gifts to men. Those gifts include pastors and teachers and evangelists and other people who serve the body of Christ in order to build up the fullness of the body of Christ. Human beings are given so that Christ can be fulfilled, so that his own existence can be fulfilled in the fullness of Christ as his body, so that totus Christus can emerge in the world. That's something that human beings participating in the Spirit, walking in the Spirit, human beings are edifying the church and building up the church and building up this ark. The ark, as I said, is a self-constructing ark. And the tools that we use, of course, are the basic tools of Christian living, the basic tools of the church that we find various places in the early chapters of Acts. In order to build up the church, we adhere to the teaching of the apostles. The teaching of the apostles sets a pattern for us. Paul talks about it as the pattern, the tupos of teaching that we received. And that tupos shapes us and forms us into the body of Christ, into the new ark of the new Noah. Baptism is another tool that we use. Baptism assembles the materials of the ark, as it were. And by baptism, these materials are dedicated to God so they can be used to build up the body of Christ. By baptism, we're brought into the Spirit-filled community, receiving gifts of the Spirit so that we can participate in this building up. We commune in the Spirit. That's another way in which we build up the body of Christ. We commune in the Spirit by sharing our gifts, by receiving gifts from the Spirit and sharing those gifts and using them for the common good of the whole church. But the book of Acts also makes clear that this is not just a spiritual exchange of gifts, but not only in Jerusalem, but also as the church expands out into the Roman world, there's an exchange of material gifts. The church in Jerusalem shares, the wealthy share their goods with those who are in need. As the church expands to the empire, those who have resources share those resources with those who are in need in Jerusalem. The Gentiles binding themselves together with the Jews by sending relief back during a famine in Jerusalem. That's one of the ways we build up the body, is we exchange gifts, material gifts and spiritual gifts. And then, of course, the book of Acts talks about breaking bread from house to house. One of the ways that we build up the body of Christ, one of the ways that we're a self-building body and a self-constructing ark, is by breaking bread together. Breaking bread at the Lord's table forms us more and more into what we actually are, which is the body of Christ. We receive the body of Christ. The body of Christ is given to us, and as we receive it in faith, we are built up into that very body. So these are the various tools that we use to construct the ark so that we can become a self-constructing ark, so that we can continue to edify the church until it reaches the fullness of Christ, who is all in all.